Hey Facebook, this is Tom Richardson. I'm going to do another movie review for you today. What's going to be different about this movie review, though, is I actually don't have a physical copy of this film with me. This is something that I have on my iTunes account, since you can download movies on the iTunes store. But you can buy this movie at certain places like Best Buy and eBay and Walmart and things like that. I personally haven't found this film on a physical DVD copy or Blu-ray copy yet, but I've been looking around for it. I'm still, but I have this film on my iTunes account though. That's why I'm able to view this film as many times as I want to. Um, but but anyway, the film I'm going to review today is called Unbreakable. It's a film by M. Night Shyamalan. He directed The Sixth Sense, Signs, The Village, the infamous Last Airbender movie. But anyway, he did this film after Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense was his big movie. If for those of you who know what that is, Unbreakable was his second big movie that kind of got his name out there even more. Unbreakable is a story about a security guard who thinks he's an everyday guy, but as you watch this movie, you find out he's not an everyday guy. Um, he encounters this man called Mr. Price, Vincent Price, I think. No, not Vincent Price. Mr. Price is his name. Um, and he calls himself Mr. Glass. And the reason why he calls himself Mr. Glass is his body breaks very, very easily. Um, and the thing with Bruce Willis is throughout the film, he's finding out that in a way he's almost invincible. And by that I mean like he can lift anything that he wants and he can lift it. Like he can lift. There's a scene in the movie where he's lifting, I think, a 300-pound bar or something like that, and he can lift it without any problem. I think he even tries lifting a 500-pound thing. He can lift it without any problem. Um, he doesn't physically get shot in the film, but there's a scene where his son believes that even if he did get shot, he would still be alive. So there's things like this. There's also a scene earlier in the film where he survives a train crash without getting harmed at all. So that's when he really starts to get curious of what is this body condition that I have. Um, and throughout the film, this Mr. Price guy who he visits quite often, he tells him about comic book characters. Mr. Price, because his body breaks easily, he spent most of his life in a hospital bed, and he's telling I forget what Bruce Willis is the main star. He's this unbreakable guy. Um, I forget his name. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but let's just say for right now it's Bruce Willis because obviously it's Bruce Willis. So Bruce Willis finds out that he has this unbreakable condition. He's never gotten sick. He has gotten hurt at some points in his life, but it's not like, oh my god, I can't move my arm anymore type of conditions. Um, but he starts to get curious because at this point in his life, which is where this whole story takes place, he's never seems to be getting hurt by anything. The only thing that gets hurt is his emotions, and not his body. Um, so it's one of those films where you're kind of wondering the whole movie, like, what's going on? This doesn't quite feel right, type of a feeling. Um, and I don't want to ruin the movie, but I will give you the biggest hint I can probably give you without ruining the film. And even if I give you this hint, this might ruin the film for some of you because I know a lot of you are really intelligent about stuff like this. But I will give you the hint that there's a very strong comic book reference between this Mr. Price and Bruce Willis's character. A very, very strong comic book reference. And that's the most I can give you without ruining the film. Um, and I think even right there, I'm sorry if I did ruin the film for you, if some of you are kind of getting that hint that I just gave you. Um, but check out this movie. It's called Unbreakable. It's with Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson. Um, for those of you who have seen Forrest Gump, Robin Wright. In some films, she's known as Robin Wright Penn because she was married to Sean Penn. But Robin Wright is in this film. From Forrest Gump, she was Ginny. For those of you who remember that character. Trying to think of some other people. Um, there's quite a few names in this film, but those are the three big people. But check this movie out. It's called Unbreakable. It's a mystery and suspense story. It's not a scary story. It's not an action story either, though. It's a mystery and suspense with action elements, I should say. Um, but it's a very interesting film. It's done in a way that I've never seen done before for a movie. Um, M. Night Shyamalan, I felt did a really really good job making this movie. Um, it's kind of his own style and everything, and I really like that. It's always nice to see an original film director doing an original idea for an original film. Um, Check this movie out. It's called Unbreakable. You can find it in the iTunes store, like I did, for download for about $10. Um, I'm sure you can find it on DVD or Blu-ray somewhere. I personally have not found it yet, but once I do, I will probably buy it. But check this movie out. It's called Unbreakable. I think a lot of you will like this film. It's very, very good.